Hello, my name is Amelia and before I came to the VYG, I could say that I really went through a lot of issues. At the age of 4, I came to the UK, and one of the reasons for this was because at that time there was a lot of violence in Angola and they actually wanted to kill my dad. All of us, we moved to the UK to find a better life. So when I started coming, when I entered the country, it was very hard in the beginning, especially in primary school. You know, we know how it is. A lot of kids, they look at something, they make fun of you. So I was bullied for years because of the language barrier. I couldn't speak properly, and because of that I was very insecure. I grew a lot of insecurities about myself. I felt like I was a misfortunate child because, you know, the way we came into the UK, there were times where me and my family, we couldn't really have what we wanted because of the circumstances that we passed through. So that was all mounting up inside of me as I grew up. When I went into my teenage years, that's when I really wanted to get out of this life. Again, my family always gave me love, they always gave me support, but I really felt like I needed to belong. And when I entered secondary school, I started to change who I was because I wanted to fit in with my friends. At a very young age, me and my friends, we would go clubbing. From the age of 13, I was going clubbing. 18-year-old clubs, I was drinking, doing a lot of things. But I think one of the things that really changed my identity and who I was when I lost my virginity at the age of 13. It was something so common in those times amongst friends. So they would talk about things. Oh, I slept with this guy, I slept with the other guy, and I was the only one who had nothing to say, and I felt that I needed to do something to be approved. But the worst thing that I think marked my life was when every single time I would go home, I would be depressed. I would stay in bed, you know, I couldn't sleep at night. And these were all things that I would hide. I would never tell my friends. 1, because I thought they would laugh at me. 2, because they wouldn't understand, and I didn't even understand. Those moments when I was alone was when I could really see who I was becoming. And that's when I really started to get into deep depression. I started to drink a lot. I'll go into my room and I'll just drink and I'll cry the whole night because I was so empty inside of me. That was when I really went rock bottom. I started to have an eating disorder where I thought I was fat, until one day I just had enough. I made a decision not to have relationships with people that I didn't know. Because I was very vulnerable, I was very emotional at this time of my life. I did have someone, which was a family member at the time. In actual fact, he was actually my cousin, who I actually entered into a relationship with him. This for me was the rock bottom. Why? Because it wasn't even something I could confess to my friends, to my family, to anyone, because it's something abnormal. It wasn't normal. But during this time, there was always someone inviting me for the youth group. There was always events that I would hear, posters I would see around, but I never really paid attention to it. But there was a time where I really needed this help, because I would look at myself and I think, who have you become? I didn't grow up to be like this. In that moment, one thing I really loved about the advisor, or in general the advisors that were there in the VYG, was the fact that they didn't judge me. They looked at me like, I must say that in the beginning it was very hard because it was me fighting between two worlds. You know, you learn to be a different person, and I would see youths who were happy. I would see youths of different ages. You know, they knew how to speak to other people. No one pushes you. No one's obligated to stop or to start doing anything. They helped me to understand, to fight myself, and to understand that I needed to completely separate myself from things that will influence me to continue having the bad life that I had. The first difference that I saw was that I started to hate, like completely hate, giving myself to someone that I didn't know. Every day I was coming to the VYG, every single day. Every day there was an event, and these events, they weren't made in vain. It was events that really related to you, things that you can relate to. I had to be really humble to understand that if I need help, I just need to be open and accept that help. My life is completely changed, Completely. I'm a happier person. I value myself. I value my body. I value the people around me, the people that I speak to. Today, my friends, they look back in my life and they see a clear difference in me. Today I work, I love my job, I work in accounts, I have a wonderful family. Before with all these things that were happening in my family, I would always argue with my mum. I had serious arguments with my mum. I never used to respect, I used to shout at her. Today I love her as a best friend. She's a best friend to me. My family see a complete change in me, completely, and I thank the VYG for that, because today I can say that I'm not what I thought I would have been when I was 13 years old. Today I'm who I never imagined to be because of that help that I received.